Hello warmongers and warmongeresses. We're taking off today in the cricket for an altercation mission with a couple of restrictions. Look at this guy. So as you know, the cricket doesn't need a runway. It's got a very sturdy landing gear, which operates very well as a very sturdy takeoff gear. And we're in the air. We're not very fast, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to take over this tarantula. Altercation today on the side of Pala. We're going to limit ourselves to declared Pala aircraft. So that means no brawler, no tarantula. There's a very easy exploit using the tarantula where you can win altercation quite easily with it. There's also an exploit using the brawler, but we aren't doing any of this today. No cheese. We're just going through them. We loaded a lot of linchpins. We sacrificed, so we got rid of the kingpins entirely, replaced them with linchpins, and also got rid of the eyeball Mark II for more linchpins. We're basically mostly attacking lightly armored targets today, so it would be sufficient. It's also quite good against helicopters. Here I'm shooting at a column that has a Samir, and the Samir is definitely going to shoot at my linchpin, so we're sending a volley of 2 each. Yeah, shut it down one. Good thing I did that. Now, a bit of air defense. Good. I hope that works, but let's focus on that guy. Nope, didn't work. Now, with the introduction of the turret, the regular gun of the cricket is kind of useless. So right now Florence is letting loose with the turret and it's just melting down that thing. Did you see that? I'm shooting too, but I don't think I'm doing anything. Yeah, this guy dodged my missile last time. Oh, much closer. Let's get this one instead. Yeah, you can stop Florence. I already shot at him. I think, oh wow, missed, and missed. Haha. And we are flying through a cloud of debris. A lot of action today. So, we did good so far. We are still alive, undamaged, and with a lot of ammunition. The enemy is down a bunch of things. Let's finish up this column of vehicle that, oh, there's not much left. Yeah. At least I'm not working alone here. A little rudder roll here just to get them into my crosshairs. But let's go back to take some altitude here. Now we can only laze 2 targets with the cricket, so you have to, take your time. I'm not gonna shoot at them because I think they're about to go behind that hill over there. Yeah, what the hell. And it's as long as you're doing laser guided weapons, it's 2x2. You have to keep lasing the entire way. Now we are switching to optically guided missiles. I want to get rid of that self-propelled artillery gun that is defending our main objective, our current main objective, the vehicle depot there. We're not going to be able to do anything as long as that thing is there. It's going to shred anything that shows up. It's kind of hard to attack because it's right behind a ridge, but we are actually using that ridge for cover now. Nothing can see us. They know we're coming, but there's nothing they can do about it. We shoot from cover and divert. They don't even get a chance to shoot at us. Short distance 48s like this are all out of Heat seekers. You get to annoy us another day. Whoa. Okay. That's the Jeep. They have like this anti-air AV8 something. Sounds like an Harrier. It's actually a sort of four-wheel drive. It's very annoying. Kind of short range. Here it is. Oh, AFV6. Alright. So you have to get quite close, and rockets are very fast, so that's gonna work. I took a risk there. I hid behind the hill before, so I stopped lasing. But the rocket found its target. Who's doing that? Let's get some separation now. Oh, look at that. There's a chicane here. Now, if you stay above them, they can't use their gun on you. But my gun is mounted under my plane. So that's a very good way to dispatch chicane here. It's close enough. Eat that. You have to open up for quite a while on chickens because they are quite well armored, which is a bit of a coward's way to wage war. I basically don't have any armor. Maybe that's why they are called chickens. Again, 2 by 2. No point sending a wave of rockets to the entire line. We can only lace 2 of them, which is making me pucker up right now because we're getting very close. Come on. I should turn away. I should turn away. I turn away. If they had an IFV, I suppose I would have been a bit more careful. Now, what's left in that column is main battle tanks. The rockets will just scratch their backs because we are actually fighting a war against them. We are not going to scratch their backs. We're taking the AGM-48, which has something like 9 kilos of explosive instead of 3 for the rockets. That still won't kill the tank if you come from the front, which in war is going to be what happens. You come from the front. But that's why it's more armored, right? So we are going to come from the side. We're giving them a wide berth. They have machine gun turrets on top of the tank that is mildly annoying to most planes, but quite lethal for us because, you know, not armored. So we're taking the long way around. All right, that's the side of them. Let's go. And that's all of our missiles, so I hope it works. To the next one. Damn, one survived. Oh, I disengaged this one a bit too fast. Now, I'm coming from the rear here, so I'm sending him 2 rockets, and yep, that did it. Now that vehicle depot, wait, there's a IFV, that's bad, big gun on its back. So basically the difference between an IFV and an APC, IFV infantry fighting vehicle, APC is armored personal carrier. They both sound like they're bus for soldiers, but one of them has fighting in its name. Respect it. Here we go. My last rocket, excellent. Let's use the turrets on this guy. The IFV survived. Oh boy, that's problematic. Okay. Yep, that did it. And this, warmongers and warmongeresses, demonstrate the power of the new ventral turret for the cricket. We saw it melt down a chicken earlier. Very good on a pinch. Normally I leave Florence to operate it, but yeah, sometimes I like to take matters in my own hand. We're done here. No flares. No weapons to speak of. Just guns. Time to go home. Let's see what they did to my beautiful little bird here. Oh, she's damaged. But frankly, that's very minimal. For a cricket sortie, normally you either come back full of holes, or you don't come back. That happens too. We're good, we're good. Final approach. Cricket is confoundingly easy to land. It doesn't have air brakes. That's a bit puzzling at first, but it really doesn't need them. You need air brakes when you're fast. It's anything but that. The landing gears will take all sorts of abuse. You can just slam it on the tarmac. Fine, just fine. But we're not gonna do that, are we? Get ready for a feather soft touchdown. Why did I have to say that? Alright, so let's get into our next aircraft. Can you guess what it's gonna be? If you said Ibis, you won. So the chicken hasn't been confirmed, I believe, which faction it belongs to. But given that the Ibis is definitely Pala, we're gonna assume the other one is Boscali, so I'm not touching it. Which is a pity. It flies way better. In fact, I've been sleeping on the Ibis because the chicken is just so good. But there are some things that the Ibis can do that the chicken cannot do. And for the things that the chicken can do, the Ibis is pretty good too. So first thing that it can do that the other can't, it's carry a vehicle inside. So I've got a SAM drone with me. I'm gonna plop it down on a hill halfway between our two bases, and it's just gonna sit there and shoot at anything that appears. There's no reason not to, right? And I need to do that like first because right now I'm so heavy. That thing doesn't handle well when it's heavy. But once I drop this, hopefully you'll see that it's quite nimble. Issue is really that it doesn't have any sort of bulletproofing. Alright, let's get rid of that primary objective. Destroy the vehicle depot. It's not guarded anymore. Those three will take care of it. So I'm aiming at that hill here. Quite loosely, right? I would like to drop it a bit early. There you go. The idea being it's hidden from view from the enemy. They pass the hill and then suddenly, boom, they explode. Not sure I managed to do that, but what I did manage to do is get rid of the vehicle depot. The objective is now to take to blow up the vehicle depot at the base, which we're going to try to soften right now because it's quite well defended. The Ibis can take mostly optically guided missiles, which is very beginner friendly, which, you know, I don't mind. That's alright. I was a beginner once. You can see I cut the forward thrust, so now I'm behaving purely like a helicopter, and you can also see that I'm having a horrible time selecting targets. I really need to get used to the filter. So that's just a selection. So the issue is that the base is defended by a Sea Whiz. The Sea Whiz is just gonna shred. It started already. Look at the BDA on the top left. It's just at least two got through. Also, I'm using the new EBIS only anti-tank missiles, which I'm not very familiar with, and apparently they must be slow. They're just hanging in the air, and the Sea Whiz is shredding them. Let's see what happens with something a bit faster. Which is this, which is the 48. Oh wait, reprioritizing. Yeah. Eat that. Hey, there's nothing you can do. I'll take care of the other thing. I think I have one left of those anti-tank missiles. And they are short range, so good thing I kept one. They are slow, my god. And now, back to what we were doing initially. Soften the base. I need to get rid of the vehicles. Yeah, radar 2. Samir. The Samir is certainly out of missiles, but hey, just in case it isn't. That's, yeah, AAA. That's the Sea Whiz. I think it's called CRAM in the game. Whoa. Careful with trees. Alright. See that? I'm using the collective at 100% and I'm banking hard. And that thing just takes it. Something shooting at me. Okay, that's bad. That's bad. I'm not armored. It's 50 cal. I can take some 50 cal. Florence should be doing something about this. Oh, check out the display. So the CRAM, that's the Sea Whiz. It survived, but that's the only one that did. Basically, it shut down the missile that was headed for itself, but wasn't able to protect the base. So that's a lot of vehicles that are now gone. Let's shoot at it again. We'll go home lighter. Whoa, Tarantula incoming. Using forward thrust again and getting away. Not getting away very well. Oh my god. It's just 50 cal, but yeah, no bulletproofing at all. That's bad. That's bad. Yeah. Yeah, we're not making it back home. Okay, now I'm angry. Another thing we're not doing today is using nukes. First of all, it would be useless. The CRAM is still there. It will just shred it. And also, I don't know, cheese. But I am taking a compass, and the compass is a bit too good in Altercation. It can get fast, which means it can take gliding bombs, and it can also take regular bombs, which I don't know if you saw, but I got both of. And basically get really fast and lob the regular bombs from a relative safety. Sure, let's clean up on the way. Take a while to get to the chicken, so let's already send some glide bomb towards some objectives. Well, thanks. I think the column of vehicles did that. The gun on this thing is very strong. We come from above to avoid the cannon. Ah, nice. I think it has a bit of spread, so it's really forgiving. I seldom miss. Ugh, great. I'm targeting vehicles and defenses for now. Ah, here. Position updated. Let's include the series. Careful not to bump into my own bombs. Gliding bombs are not going to do very well against the series. Yeah, it already started. 3 of them got intercepted so far. Yeah, but those bombs they come in faster, so we have a much better chance. It will still knock out 1 or 2 of them, but most of them will get through. And if we get all the buildings, which we totally would if I knew how to use the filter, we're gonna end the mission. But I don't know how to use the filter. I should be embarrassed posting this on the internet. Alright, enough. Let's see how much the seaweed is able to intercept. Yeah, we do that with the gun. Go. That poor thing was stuck down the ditch. 1. It was able to intercept 1 of my bombs. We can see that. We could see that. Top left. So that's very good. Now I'm down to guns, which you know, why not? I've got 2 crickets with a death wish. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Are you? Oh, actually, changed my mind. It has a ventral turret. We are getting out of here. It's just gonna shred me. Yeah, I think once again demonstrating the power of the new cricket ventral turret. Right? It can wreck, and it keeps people like me off your back. A must-have. The regular gun, though, it's there. We're on final again. We haven't won the game. Probably just 1 vehicle depot left. Which, you know, that's fine. I'll basically do the same mission again and finish this. At this point, the battle is won. Their base is wrecked. They still have their sea whiz, but I mean, it can only intercept so much. And we have vehicles coming up to their base. I might actually arrive too late. The ground forces might have done the work for me. But hey, we're not going to assume that, are we? Let's get in here again. Yeah, so I didn't actually take the same loadout. First of all, because boring, and second of all, I took a nuke. I said I wouldn't. It's a bit dumb because if I drop it on the base, it's gonna be shredded by the sea whiz. So maybe I'll just use it on the cluster of factories in the back. That's another cheese tactic. You can, even before nuclear weapons are available, you can load a brawler or a compass with very big bombs, the 500 ones, and basically go around the base. They don't defend the back there, and blow out all their factories, and then they can't send anything anymore if they don't have factories to produce planes, right? Yeah, maybe I'll do that after. Four bombs, let's see. Be a bit selective here. Yeah, munition bunker is 9 destructible. Yeah, that'll do. The seaways will survive, but the rest will die. Though no defenses, I could just ram the bombs in. Maybe to get the seaways. That means you come from a bit high, and you don't drop the bombs at the first opportunity. You keep full throttle towards the base, down, give your bombs as much velocity as possible, and they arrive fast, right? And that's less. Oh my God, that's less time for the seaways to react. Probably won't work. Yeah, it intercepted one of my bombs. So we won. We're not going back home with a nuke, though, are we? There you go. And I'll teach them to put all their factories together like this. I mean, you gotta be a bit dumber. It's just asking for a nuke. At least there's those two in the back. I don't think I can... Yeah. The small nuke is so cute. Oh, well. Sure, why not? There you go. Anyone else? Yeah, there is someone else. Okay, yeah, let's not die now. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay, yeah. Splashed me with burning fuel, I suppose. Go. I mean, I know the war's over, but we haven't signed the armistice yet, and I'm not going home with bombs under my wings, am I? That probably won't be enough. There's 80 kilograms of explosives in this. It takes 500, so yeah, that's not gonna work. Oh, yeah, there's this too. That's probably not very powerful, but well, let's see. Here's the bombs. I mean, fine. It's a factory. It's big. It's not armored or anything, but there's only so much damage you can do, you know. Completely scratch their solar panels. Huh. We'll teach them. And this concludes the lactose-free altercation from Pala's side. We didn't go around, we didn't... we basically played the AI where the AI is strong and didn't go into its blind spots, which it has many. Now I'm getting up high to get the thin air so that I can get home fast. And we'll land this bird and call it a day. Alright, we're done here. If you got something to say, you know what to do. Wonder if using Boscali aircraft would make it easier. Brawler, right? And chicane. That's a huge advantage, but the compass, I mean, you saw how it just really precipitated the end, right? Not being able to do fast bombing runs? Maybe I'll try.